Don't mind me, guys. We're just going to go for a quick drive around the hills of Belgium. It's a nice day for Formula 1. It's a nice week for it, actually. We've had, I think, a 3-week gap between races. I think some sort of summer break. That's summer for you people in the Northern Hemisphere. Meanwhile, I'm down here freezing my nuts off. Anyway, yeah, there's going to be another race in Belgium. This car does look pretty good, I gotta tell you. Look at that. Where's the... And also, in other Formula 1 news this week, the new game is coming up. Formula 1 2018, no less. And now I have to level with you guys. I did write to a few people trying to get a review copy of this game, and I know what you're thinking. Scotty, you got a very obscure channel and you barely put videos up anymore. How did you think that was going to go? Did you really think it was going to work? Yada yada. Bear with me, I do have some logic to my thinking. I'm not just a greedy guy trying to get free copies of things, I promise. Basically, every year it's the same story with Formula 1 games. There'll be like 2 or 3 channels, the usual suspects. I mean, they do very good work over there at iFlatPito and the Clickbait Sausage Factory. The usual guys. They'll get copies of it because they've got millions of subscribers, and it makes sense. It's good business acumen to chuck a copy of the game at them because they'll upload it and their fans will lap it up, and it's guaranteed to sell a few copies. But every year I kind of keep an eye on the traffic and I look, and there's like these smaller channels that inexplicably seem to be jumping the queue and getting early copies of the damn game. I mean, I'm not just imagining it, there are some guys on there, some people. I mean, the driving is at least as bad as mine, and they barely seem to show any real interest in what they're doing. Some of them barely even talk. They're just, like, sitting there mumbling at the screen indeterminately for X amount of minutes while they say, "Oh yes, it's just coming out this month, it's a very good game, I'm so glad, thank you Codemasters for hooking me up." It's just, it's psychotic, and at the same time as not wanting to be a part of it, I wanted to be a part of it. So, I mean, I don't know. And I won't lie, I was incredibly jealous of some of these people getting such an opportunity. I suppose I should watch the road at some point, but I'll keep talking for a minute. And I was keeping an eye on it, seeing who was getting the nod, and one of them is completely nasal cut from God knows where.
In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say there are too many options.
And this other guy, this total sack of plums who, I don't know, he was using the racing line and still managing to suck.
We got this one last time. That was better.
In his defense, and I've proven this with scientific testing, when I put the racing line on, I'm actually worse at racing games. Would you believe it? I don't know. I think it's, once you get to a certain speed, there's no point in having your hand being held by I don't know, some ghostly father figure trying to guide you around the track. You've really got to make your own way. What was I talking about there? I saw one guy, honestly, and I don't want to be mean, but he had the personality of a dusty sofa peanut.
And yeah, we've obviously just spun the car around as well.
It was doing nothing for me. I wasn't getting any information about the game. And it's, yeah, I don't know. What is it? What? Whoa, watch out for the wall. I'm getting a little sidetracked and a bit mean-spirited here, and bitter, I admit it. I don't want to be, well, I'll keep going. There was this one guy, barely literate son of Hagrid. I don't know what the fuck his problem was, but...
We tried to see if we could set a decent lap time on this tyre. Now, I have to be honest.
And I think my A1 pick, my absolute favourite for people playing Codemasters' latest Formula 1 game before Scotty, would be this brick shithouse-looking motherfucker who kind of looks as though he should be a contestant on that show by Chris Hansen, To Catch a Predator.
That'll do. That'll be nice and fun.
It's my absolute favourite game show. Basically what happens is these guys, they're going on a hot date, at least they think they are, and they've got to get into the house, score with the girl, and get out again before Chris Hansen finds them. And the thing is, it's pretty much impossible. It's not even like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire where the questions get harder and harder. It's just basically impossible. Chris Hansen will at some point burst out of a cupboard or a door, and he always wins. The house always wins. You can't... That's why I love the show. It's such a difficulty curve. And Chris Hansen, nothing gets past him. But anyway, I mean, I'm kind of getting lost on the topic here. I'm definitely not driving as fast as I can be. I'm just sort of lapping Spa while I think about this weekend's race and, you know, enjoy this. I mean, this is good. This is probably better than the Codemasters game, because this has VR, and they don't. and, you know, I tell you, I actually got used to the Halo pretty quickly. So much so that when it wouldn't come up, I'm like, where the hell did it go? And I had to turn it on in the options, so there you go. It gets to a point, at least in VR, where it's actually not that distracting. I'll tell you what, people all think that this inch, or 3/4 of an inch, or whatever, in the centre of your vision is going to be distracting and annoying during a race, but quite honestly, I was playing Formula 1 2017 to practice in case I got a copy of the game, which I didn't. And a lot of the old cars actually have like an antenna or something sticking up in the middle, and it's really not that much thinner than that. And you get used to it pretty quick. And in VR, it's totally not a consideration because you just do this a bit. It's not in the way. And with your left eye, right eye, you can just about look past it anyway, so... Not really a factor. I think people need to suck it up. I mean, I'm kind of... As much as I like Formula 1, I am kind of sick of it. Mainly because of the fans. I don't really... Hang on. Still hold that. Yeah, it's mainly the fans' fault, because I remember a few years ago when the new engines came in, all you heard about was, oh my god, these engines suck! Racing is dead! And every year it's something else. This year it's the Halo. And I'm kind of... Maybe I'm alone in this, but I just like watching people do something that I can't do. I actually enjoy watching a race where there's no crashes. It's not as fun as when there is, but I just like watching people drive around in circles because it's... I don't know, I get something out of watching people do something that they're very good at. I've already explained that. And I feel alone in this. I don't know. Not that I would like to try and get out of this Halo thing. I'm pretty sure I'm not that fat, but I am getting towards the point where I'd really have to squeeze to get through the hole. Alright, what else is going on? Yeah, so I just wanted to disregard all those nasty things I said about not playing the game earlier. It's a little humiliating, but I do kind of have to... I am saving money at the moment, and I can't just stick my neck out and buy expensive racing games willy-nilly. I do have to try and get them for free first, and then weigh up what I can get away with money-wise for the month. Like most people do. Whoa! Jesus. This car is so much faster than I am. I can't... Oh, hang on. Oh. Doesn't handle too bad. Oh, he says as he kisses the gravel. Fuck. If I really concentrate, I might be able to do a 2-minute lap here. Hang on, we'll try and finish this lap and then I'll see if I can remember what I was trying to talk about before. All power to the people that were able to play the game early. It was a bit of a quest, because basically what happened was, wow! Shit. I mean, real Formula 1, not too exciting at the moment. I think the thing that's really disappointing me the most, far beyond any Halo, which you barely notice anyway, is the driver selection at the moment. I mean, I feel bad for them. Because we're in an era where probably the driver means less than he ever has, and you've got guys like Daniel Ricciardo saying, oh, I could be a champion, make me a champion. Like somewhere we had a newspaper front page with his very serious face staring down the barrel of the camera, and he was like, it's my time. That's it's my time in an Australian accent. And you just think, oh, you've done it now, Ricciardo, you jinxed yourself. The whole thing, the driver moves and stuff to each team, none of that's interesting me very much. No one's taken any really huge. And Bottas, I think of him as really the nice idiot of Formula 1 at the moment. He's just this gormless looking dude who's, I don't know, a seat filler. I don't like him. It's just not exciting. Alonso's bailing out. That sucks. His team radio stuff is always just 24 karat gold. Yeah, I'm gonna miss that motherfucker Alonso. What else is going on? I don't know. Just... I think every year is a lost opportunity to fire Perez. Guy has no spatial awareness and he shouldn't be in Formula 1. I like to say that about anyone I don't like. Whoa! Look at that fucking... Look at the way I took that turn. I went everywhere but the apex. I was occupying every point in space except for the... Alright. Who else do I want to unfairly hate upon in sport of Formula 1? Lance Stroll. He really does remind me of if Conan the Barbarian got Adam Lambert pregnant and had a Down syndrome baby. I mean, he's just got that look about him. Whoa! Whoa! I mean... Am I being harsh? I don't know. Oh! Damn it. Whoa! Oh, whoa! Okay. Speaking of Down syndrome... Oh, shit. Alright, as if I wasn't fucking up enough before, what we'll do is we'll put some other cars on the track and see if I can even keep up, even remotely close to them. The odds aren't good, but we'll see how we go. Like I was talking about before, I figured it was worth rattling a few cages just to see in the off chance that maybe I don't know. I've gotten a few good games before, like Stardew Valley, and I don't know. I understand that's a completely different profile from something that Codemasters is putting out. It just happens to be one really nice dev, so... But, like I said, it was worth a swing and a miss. It didn't seem too impossible. I did get through to the guy at Koch Media? Is it Koch Media? I don't know. How do you pronounce that? And he actually was very receptive. He was like, don't worry, we'll help you out. And then he found out I was Australian and not from the UK, so he was like, sorry, we can't do business. So I stalked a couple of the Codemasters dudes on Twitter, and they gave me an email from some dude. I keep calling people dude. But anyway, they gave me an email for a guy who works for, what's it called, Namco? There's so many game companies, I can't keep up with them. And I was back and forth with that guy for a little bit, trying to wangle a copy out of him. And then before you know it, a month has gone by, and release is getting close. And finally it transpires that they're like, yeah, listen, we probably can't help you out until release or after release. So it's kind of like, alright, I'm out of the game, I don't get it, fine. All I'm going to say is, it doesn't hurt to say no, but you could have told me a month ago, guy. But anyway, that's enough of me being bitter. Quite honestly, I'm aware that it was a long shot. But I just needed something to talk about while I drive my little VR car here. I love it. It's pretty good. I'm actually sort of cheating. Here's a little tip for you. If you're ever up against me in iRacing, I do cheat because of my Oculus. What I do is I sit down and I recenter the head thing, and then I sit at my normal height, and I get like an extra head of vision over the... And it works in most cars, it's a good move, but actually in the Halo one it's a bit of a disadvantage because because you get the thick vaginal looking part in the middle there, kind of in the middle of your vision, so it's almost discouraging me from doing it in the Formula 1 car. But anyway, enough about that. What the fuck? Hamilton hasn't got his halo on. You know, a rare sighting of Hamilton. Angel Hamilton without the halo. Alright, anyway, enough of that bullshit. We'll try and drive the thing now. Ding! 5 red lights and away we go. Ugh. My starts are legendary. Now, on iRacing, if nothing else, my starts are very good. In Assetto Corsa, I don't really know if they matter that much. Caught a bit of a slide there. Let's hit the first corner. I'm just going to stay back from them because I actually have no idea what's going to happen. I have the AI aggressiveness turned up to the top because of something else that I'm working on. A certain German people mover. And I don't know. At these speeds, I don't want them to be too aggressive with me. Hang on, let's go to focus now. Hamilton's going to have me right up his chuff. I don't want to make him pregnant. Oh, away he goes on the outside. See, I mean, the aggressiveness is good. It means they'll do things like that. But if we both happen to be on the same piece of track at the same time, oh, it's going to come to tears. No! Speaking of, damn. Shit, I've dinged my wing already. Oh. I'm trying to get my helmet back on and we're about to start. And... yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it translates to Assetto Corsa, but my start reflexes are usually pretty good in iRacing, where the starts are everything, because you're up against other humans and... okay, well, frame rate's going down. See, I have one big theory about why they don't have VR in the real Formula 1 game. Oh shit, you're getting away from me. And that is performance. I mean, Dirt Rally, I think, is the one that has VR, and they did a really, really great job with that. It works wonderfully. But, to my knowledge, you're never up against a field of like 20 other cars. Whoa, what the fuck? That guy's going so slow! What the shit is wrong with you? Just going, fucking hell! It's going so slow! What the shit is wrong with you? Just going, fucking hell! It's going so slow! What the shit is wrong with you? Just going, fucking hell! I mean... Now, what I was talking about before I was so rudely interrupted was VR and Codemasters games, and the reason they're not putting it in is, I think, performance, because you look ahead of me, that's not even a full grid, that's like 12 cars, and it's already starting to run a bit shitty. And, I mean, Project Cars and Project Cars 2, they both come with VR, and I've noticed it in that as well. It starts to run less good the more guys you chuck on the track. And it's not just my computer. I don't have the latest video cards and all that crap. But, what's this? Eau Rouge Flat. Oh, what a car. Why is he going so slow? Not again. I'm going to hit the brakes because I don't want to go up his ass. But yeah, Dirt Rally is a Codemasters game and it has VR and it's amazing, but they don't have to contend with all the complications of a full grid of... Did you just hit me? He hit me. What the fuck? Hell. And also, it's not just the performance. I mean, Well, it is kind of. They're trying to make... I just watched a video today where they're boasting about how much prettier this year's game is than last one. And, what they're saying is correct. It might look a little too foggy if you ask me, but the fog does look nice. I can't drive quickly while talking. Sorry. I can't drive quickly at all. I should do a video where I just shut the fuck up and see how fast I can go. What were we talking about? Yeah, they're trying to go for a very specific look, and I think it's almost like making two games, having to suddenly change everything for VR. I mean, you've got to come up with a good menu. The system in Assetto Corsa is not too bad, but there's definitely problems. And I don't know if that's just because they're lazy or because it's really hard to figure out how to make stuff work good in VR. Speaking as somebody who has a headset, I almost certainly can't race without it. I was going to make the effort for this year's Formula 1 game because the career mode looked like fun and I like the classic cars, but outside of that, I don't really play too many non-VR anything games anymore. No, when it comes to simulators and stuff. Like, flight sims, I wouldn't fuck around with anything that doesn't have a VR compatibility and so forth. I mean, this is just so much better. People bullshit about the resolution of Oculus Rifts and things like that, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. I can see the pixels on your screen too, buddy. It doesn't look that good to me. I don't think it's going to become mainstream. It is a pain in the ass wearing this thing on your face. Whoa. But anyway, none of this is anything I haven't said to you before. Yeah, that's kind of weird. The enemy were going so slow in the opening lap, but they've completely lost me because I'm busy thinking about other things. I'm making excuses now. We could start one more time and try and keep with them. I'll just shut up. What do you think? Worth doing? If it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. Oh. In spite of me being a little disappointed and butthurt and not playing the new game early, if I had got it, the video wouldn't have been that good. It probably would have just been me crashing in the classic cars like I did when the 2013 game came out. Oh, shit, wheels! Which was fun for me, but again, not world-beating. The world doesn't need that. And, I don't know, fucking around with the career mode, sexually harassing Emma Jenkins and the new reporter girl.
Hey there, big boy. I can see how hard you are, right through your jeans.
Let me put on my high heels, and then we can get started. I can take whatever you can give me.
So, you know, I've come to grips with it in the past few days and decided to just do this instead because when in doubt, play what you've already got. I don't want to make one of these videos where a guy with a YouTube channel complains about nobody watching his YouTube channel. But my enthusiasm has been waning a little bit. I'll tell you the full story. After the last batch of videos, which I think was in July, I was feeling really good about doing it again, and it felt in a bit of a rhythm, and I was like, I could do another 30 videos, I feel great. And then David came over for his usual Friday visit. We played 3 VR games, and I mean, whether or not you guys would find it interesting or not, I don't know. But the point is, we were having fun. And then at the end of the evening, I sit down at my computer and I start to look at my hard-earned recordings of David. And I've either got silent webcam videos of us waving our arms around and no sound happening, and missing video of the games themselves and shit like that. And then, not long after that, I got myself a cold. And then after that cold, I got an ear infection. And then after that ear infection, I got another cold. So while my body's been taking a very healthy beating this winter, I haven't been able to sit down and do this the way I'd like to. And once again, you know, every time you break the rhythm, you get out of practice and it becomes much more difficult to do, and consequently the videos are shit when you do try and do them. I mean, you wouldn't believe the number of times I've had to stop myself tonight and start again because I can't string a sentence together. It's very, very fucking demoralising. And I don't want you guys to see it. It's just, for me, it's almost like, actually, I just don't need to make videos anymore if they're going to be crap. You know? And of course, somebody like Declan is going to pipe up and say, well, weren't your videos shitty already? And they were, but I mean, there's a kind of shitty that I can live with, and a kind that I can't. I don't know where I was going with all this. Just to say that I just still like doing it, and I miss you guys plenty. But yeah, I mean, it's always something with me. Last year it was the fact that it was my video card and my motherboard blew up, and I didn't have the money to immediately replace it, and that sort of broke the rhythm. But on the flip side of all of that, I kind of have to be honest and say, I mean, life's not that bad. Away from making videos and music and stuff, things are schmicko. Like last year, I didn't have the money to fix my computer because I was off in Barcelona with my, what do I call her? And I'm going to be seeing her again soon, I hope. If all goes to plan. Well, I hope. That's why I'm not buying Formula 1 games. Because I'm saving money for that. But, you know, shit like that. I should just do a podcast. I'm sorry. Alright, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll start one more race, and I'll actually try and keep with the computer this time. I'll concentrate. At least a little bit. Alright, as promised, I'm going to try one more race where I don't talk too much. I'll try not to crash into anybody, and just see if I can keep with them. Oh, sluggish start. Oh, got bogged down a bit there. Gonna come in on the back of my teammate here. Oh, crap! Hit those brakes! Hit those drones! Oh, look at this! Gonna capitalise on their clumsiness over at La Source. Like I said before, taking Eau Rouge flat. Oh, it holds with it. Fucking holds it together. The downforce of 10 grand pianos sitting on my head. Oh, I want to shape up on this guy for an overtake, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just not that good. Oh, shit. Oh, crap. Come on, Scotty. Keep with him. Oh, he's getting away. He's getting away. Oh, turn, please. Oh, why do I suck so hard? No, maybe it's the anxiety of having the camera on me. Maybe I'm just not fast. No, I reckon we can keep with him. I'm just going to concentrate. Whoa! Somebody just retired. I haven't got time to read the name. I wish I knew some of the corner names. I could at least be conversational with you and sort of tell you where we are. That's the medical centre. I found that out before when I was trying to park the car somewhere scenic. God only knows why it's out here. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. What the fuck? Our battery thing is just under halfway. We're not going to catch this cunt. I caught him wanking, watching porn at the wheel. My greatest problem is that the things I like to quote and remember while I'm making a video is other videos. And that was a great little video of two guys going alongside a van driver on a motorway and realising that he was actually watching porn on his mobile phone. Ah, shh. Is that it? Am I at the back of the field? Oh, this is starting to perform really badly. Why is it lap 2 when all of a sudden the frame rate's going to take a dump? Is there something else extra that the computer has to do to render me on lap 2? Have I got more wrinkles? Alright. I can see them all getting lickety-split up the end there. Oh, I can keep with them. The longer they spend dallying with each other, or like heavy petting, the more likely it is I can catch them. Watch this. I'm going to take this corner like a pro. Oh, I fucked it. Too much curb. No, I can't do it now. The frame rate's going shitty. I gotta tell you, the worst thing, worse than any frame rate problem you're having on your computer, is low frame rate in VR, because it gets very confusing. You get a situation where maybe the world is jaggedy, but the looking around is smooth. And then you get the other one where the world looks kind of smooth, but the looking around is jaggedy. It's really hard to explain. But it's like two worlds are happening at once. I don't think I can do this. It was running smoother before and I had half a chance of keeping with them, but this is... well, now it's got... It's every time I get close to the computer cars, I think. Oh, and we're out of battery power. See, here's the thing. People talk about Formula 1 cars and how many amazing knobs they have on the steering wheel and, oh, how do the drivers keep track? I could do it, but I need physical knobs that I can reach out and grab. Instead, I'm having to reach forward and press the, see, I don't know, buttons that I can't see over off to the left of my steering wheel. And so, I don't really stand a chance of finding them. That, and I don't know what good settings are. I mean, 60%. So I slam the brakes on now. There's a bit more battery. Every time I'm in a heavy braking zone, I get more battery, which is cool. But I mean, there's your Formula 1 game. Formula 1 2018 comes out this week. don't know if I'm going to go... what I'm going to do is look at those websites that do cheap keys. See if I can get it for cheap. Because I can't buy it full price. I've got to be responsible with my money. As I said, I have plans. So thanks for hanging out though, guys. Take it easy. Guys, you aren't going to believe this, but I've just figured out how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on the F1 car. Watch this. Hang on. That sounds so miserable.